We have Henry Martachio. Did I get that right, Mr. Martachio?
Close.
Close.
Henry Martachio.
I'm sorry?
Henry J. Martachio.
Henry J. Martachio, thank you so much for all of your patience. You are our last witness, and begin
My
with...
case started at 5 o'clock this morning because I can't find expertise in the state of Connecticut.
You mean yesterday morning?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. All right,
so
thank
I had to
you.
take a nice trip to Mass General to get the expertise for my son. But according to some testimony we heard today, my case, I want to start and back up a little bit. My case started all 2006. I am a fit father of an autistic 10-year-old male child. My child was pronounced to me by way of letter and a picture when he was 2 and a few months old. Proceeded to try to use the system to find my child and tried to be only one thing, a parent. My child, by the company of DCF, DDS, and town probate courts, hid my child from me. We want to talk about absolute immunity, professional training, accountability of people. I managed to put in my DNA test. 8 days later, they proceeded on July 11th, 2006, to give guardianship of my child to grandparents. A third party that has now interrogated and abused me, my child, and I believe they are the abuser of their mother. But 4656 in the GALs, 3 of them, including the Children's Law Center, have violated his fundamental rights, because Troxel makes it very clear that the fundamental right of the child is to be with the parent. I disagree with the way the statute is written now. There should be a presumption, and it should be a very known, the legislative intent. Absent neglect or abuse from the parent, that child will have 50-50 custody with his parents. Absent clear and convincing harms. Not just pretend. We heard school earlier. We heard anything from... My case was my autistic child was kept from me for 18 months as grandparents argued and debated the causes of autism. What is the appropriate treatment? Can any one of you lawyers up there tell me what the appropriate treatment is? You earlier denied Joseph Watley his rights under the American Disabilities Act. You all have a judicial responsibility. You are bar members. You are underneath the American Disabilities Act, Title III obligations. You are practicing in a practice area that we, the taxpayers, allow you to make money in. So now it gives you the Title II obligations of the state of Connecticut. How come anyone doesn't know that obligation? You guys are all practicing attorneys. I'm just a humble plumber. Psychologist. You guys have obligations to ensure the inclusion of the disabled. But yet we heard all day long from testimony from people that we know that the judicial has put out a statement saying they don't understand hidden disabilities. But we've heard other testimony today saying, let's get more lawyers on things we don't understand. Let's clog up the system even more. I've been tortured. I've been humiliated. No doctor wants to come near me once I say I'm in family court. No school member. I'm embarrassed that I have to go now. Retaliation? See me on 123 down in Meriden, Connecticut. This month, Judge Schluger is going to strip me my fit parental rights because he made orders without an application under 4659. How is that constitutionally, fundamentally appropriate for any of these state players and actors? And yes, the Children's Law Center accompanied it in lie. I have transcripts. I can show you appointments. I can show you things that people have done to me and my child. More to my child. Because they took away my greatest right as a parent to tap into the resources I have with the people I associate with to give maximum beneficial therapies at an early age of intervention for the child. My child's 10 years old. He doesn't comprehend how to wipe his rear end. How has he gotten an ability to have a relationship with somebody that would be deemed detrimental, namely akin to, because this is the new language of our laws of Connecticut, akin to harm. That means we only have to make it look like harm. In my idea, in my mind, it's called fair preponderance of evidence. There is no clear and convincing. The judge is the only one that's supposed to have the absolute immunity. We're trickling this down now to, I believe now, the Simmons case that gives attorneys the right to lie. We've made standing. I'm on my 4th appeal, ladies and gentlemen. I've already petitioned to the Supreme Court. I've already tried going with a federal removal. I am begging now for injunctive relief against the state.
Mr. Martachio, could I ask you to summarize, please?
The summary of it is we have to strip this down, ladies and gentlemen. If this is about children, this all of a sudden doesn't happen when I hand in a piece of paper and I say, I want a divorce. And now I need 30, 40 people to say, wait a minute, yeah, these people are treating the child appropriate. If there was problems with that child, don't we think the mandated reporters of the school systems, babysitters, doctors, and everyone else that's involved in our lives already when we have children would step up and say, you know what, guys, red flag. I think there's something going on here. I want to make a tip off to DCF. I want to make a tip off to somebody. Somebody please appropriately investigate. My problem is I've been in this court system now since 2006. I haven't met one intelligent person yet in regards to autism. In this state, we still believe autism is a psychological problem. 1978, sir, no offense, I see the gray hair, I got it too, but we got to understand, 40 years ago, we would have said autism was caused by a cold-hearted mother. Today, we're not. My doctor reconfirmed today that we are looking at the bugs in your stomach. We are looking at mutations of bugs that are caused, we don't know yet the biomedical aspect of it, but yet I was managed to go through a trial of $26,000 to defend my parental rights to treat my son to the latest and greatest advancements. By the time the state adopts it, it'll be 10 years out for typical mainstream medicine treatment. So again, we're talking about parental alienation that still has not been recognized. We have an issue that's going on here, ladies and gentlemen, that if we want to make an advancement in this state for the people of the state, let's start getting the most thoughtful ideas. Right now, we got Massachusetts that sits there and says it's incumbent on a judge to ensure the disability rights of the disabled. It's incumbent. I come to this state, and I got Chief Justice Rogers that's shooting down Joseph W. and saying, we don't have no obligations underneath the ADA, ladies and gentlemen. One last statement. I will wrap it up right now.
Thank you.
Wrong again. You were mandated in 1990. You were also mandated in 2006 to do a self-evaluation. That's more than wheelchair ramps. That is actually how are you providing the services to this class of disabled people. Intellectual disabilities, hidden disabilities, and physical disabilities. There was a lady earlier that sat there and said, and I was at home with my son, I had to wait till I could come down here before I could put him to bed. And the long story short is, she sat there and said, you know, we got a genetic issue, and we want to prevent that genetic issue, so we want to eliminate the child, basically, from that defective type parent. Wrong. I have two psychologists sitting up there. The ADA says wrong. You are to provide the maximum amount of inclusion for the disabled that you can possibly do without causing harm.
Thank you so much for your testimony. I appreciate you waiting this long, and I appreciate your passion for this. Thank you, sir.
It's my whole feeling is the whole answer lays in the ADA. You guys have been getting mandated funding. You have been getting underneath the Social Security Act all kinds of stimulation packages to provide the appropriate training. Can anyone from the bar tell me when the bar has put on a nice training for you people? Because I'm predating the exam, 1990. This is the greatest civil rights we have going on in this country right now, is the right of the disabled.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have a question for this gentleman? Hearing none, we will adjourn the hearings. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for a very, very long day. We've, I don't know, I don't think it's a record, but it is for us.